Certain problems with the system became evident as seen here when daylight glare impaired the ability to see a video image on the television monitors. Pearson Post Industries researchers are currently searching for a solution to this difficult problem. Nevertheless, the mobile multiple monitor program has been highly successful overall. Also on display in the gallery is the Gulf Bag recreational shoulder-mounted ground-to-air-to-ground missile launcher. Because we live in a high-risk multiple-threat environment, Pearson Post Industries knows that the demand for personal defense is very high. That's why we've introduced our newest line of personal defense, the Gulf Bag missile launch system.
We'd just like to demonstrate a few features of the Gulf Bag rocket launch system. Neatly concealed inside is an AIM-54 Phoenix missile, ready for launch. To activate the system, the launch key is inserted and switched to the on position. Now the firing button is armed and ready to launch. But remember, this is dangerous work, and kids, don't try this at home. If you want to know about peace, get to know about war, war, war.
The Gulf Bag launcher was first tested in 1988 in some of the earliest ballistic missile testing of any kind conducted by Pearson Post Industries. The early versions were optically sighted using a bag-mounted swivel blast plate and viewfinder. The first tests were extremely successful, and from the outset, the Gulf Bag has proven itself as an easy-to-handle and effective system. Later versions discarded the swivel blast plate viewfinder in favor of an easier-to-handle Gulf Bag outfitted with randomly tracked, unguided command-to-line-of-sight missiles. Testing of the Gulf Bag has been extremely successful throughout the long evolution of the program. The purpose of the Gulf Bag was originally defined in a Pearson Post Industries directive which called for a low-cost, low-profile missile launching system which could be easily concealed and used recreationally. The concept for this system was based on the requirement for a line of defense entertainment products which could safely function as a means of displaying firepower in a non-threatening scenario while also doubling as a potential air defense system for high security protection in recreational areas. Bag has also proven its ability to be launched safely from an indoor position, thus increasing its operational flexibility and further improving defense entertainment capabilities. This double launch occurred during a Pearson Post Industries demonstration in front of a live audience. Requirements, ignition systems, and launch configurations. Seen here is another thrust requirement test involving the floppy missile. The first test failed due to incorrect tube diameter calculations, but the tough pulp fiber skin sustained only light damage. After some quick repairs, the second test was conducted successfully, with the missile achieving a height of over 50 feet before making a quick descent. Upon impact, the internal structure was damaged beyond repair, but the test succeeded in proving that a large mass could be launched with only one engine. Perhaps the most unorthodox test involved the launching of a scale replica of the Titanic. The first test failed due to faulty track coupling, but the second launch was a complete success, with the Titanic replica accelerating to speeds up to 50 miles per hour in 1.2 seconds. Before the testing of this unusual design was finished, a tube-launched configuration was used to investigate maximum altitude parameters for the Titanic replica. This was, however, the final test. The most spectacular test performed was a launch capability test of 2 early telepodium launcher prototypes, each outfitted with a full complement of 8 randomly tracked, unguided ground-to-air-to-ground missiles, comprising a full barrage of 16 simultaneously launched missiles. Of defense entertainment technologies continues, and the displays shown here today represent the cutting edge of high-performance defense entertainment technologies currently under development at Pearson Post Industries.
Get down. Get down.
Pump it up.
Get down.
Pump it up.
Got to get down.
Pump it.
Get
Pump it. Pump it up.
Get down. Get down. We've got to
Pump it up.
You see, we've got to
Pump it
up. You see, we've got to
Pump it
up. You see, we've got to get down. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. Get up, get down. You see, we've got to
Pump it up.
got to get down.
The government is prepared
To get down.
The government is prepared.
To get
The
down.
government is prepared.
To get down.
The government is prepared.
To get down.
We shall have.
Get down. We must get down.
We shall have.
Get down. We must get down.
We shall have.
Get down. Get up, 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 get down. You see, we've got to
Pump it
up. 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 You see, we've got to get down. Get up, get down.
The government is prepared.
To get down.
The government is prepared.
To get
The
down.
government is prepared.
To get down.
The government is prepared.
To get down.
Hello, I'm Joshua Pearson, Public Relations Officer for Pearson Post Industries, the world's leader in defense entertainment technologies. I would like to welcome you to EPGOT, the Experimental Prototype Gallery of Tomorrow. EPGOT is a gallery that will never be complete, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. The main component of EPGOT is the fully enclosed anechoic test chamber. The walls of the chamber are covered with almost 1,000 specially designed cones made of electromagnetic emission absorbent material to create a controlled environment in which to test powerful new electronic systems. The chamber's components were produced at one of Pearson Post Industries' many manufacturing facilities, where speed of production takes second place to safety, but efficiency is always the top priority, because Pearson Post Industries knows that quality production can only be attained by the dedication of its highly skilled team of technical experts, scientists, and engineers, whose efforts are overseen by a management that cares about people. The test chamber, which has been installed at the McKillop Gallery, contains the Pearson Post Industries Telepodium Launcher television-equipped podium-based ballistic missile launcher. The Telepodium launcher is being used in a series of tests to determine the effectiveness of automated and manually operated armed entertainment systems. The Telepodium launcher is designed to interface with a human speaker whose performance can be monitored constantly. In addition, the Telepodium launcher can, at the push of a button, rotate its side-mounted video monitor launch tube containers into launch position. The Telepodium launcher is now capable of launching 8 independently targetable command-to-line-of-sight guided missiles. The Telepodium launcher can accommodate a wide array of missiles which can carry powerful warheads for hundreds of miles to predetermined targets. You will now receive instructions on how to activate the Telepodium launcher yourself. The keypad is located next to the start button. Open it and punch in the 4-digit code 1990 and then press enter. That's 1990 and then enter. Once you have entered the 4-digit code 1990, the Telepodium launcher will rotate into launch position. To return the podium to broadcast position, press enter within the next 15 seconds, or else re-enter the 4-digit code 1990 and then press enter again. The Telepodium launcher will now rotate back to broadcast position so we can begin our program. Once the Telepodium launcher has reached broadcast position, the program can begin. Put on a set of headphones, adjust the volume, and wait for the program to begin.
I want you to jam, 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 just jam. I want you to jam, just jam, jam. Everyone does, every day, every night, jam. No matter who you are, just jam. Just jam. Just jam.
Pump it. Pump it up.
Jam.
Pump it up.
Jam.
Pump it up.
Jam.
Pump it up.
Jam. From now on in America, we all must jam. Every day, every night, every day,
every night. Why? I'll say it again. From now on in America, we all must jam. Up and jam.
Pump it up, pump it up, pump up
And jam.
pump it up, pump it up, pump up
And jam.
pump it up, pump it up, pump up
And jam.
pump it up, pump it up.
From now on in America, I want you to jam. Every day, every night. Every day, every night. Everyone does. I'll say it again. From now on in America, we all must jam.
That concludes this address by President George Bush.
Another successful Pearson Post Industries project, the telepodium launcher TPL-2, has recently been completed. The TPL-2 is the second television-equipped podium-based ballistic missile launcher unit built by Pearson Post Industries to replace the TPL-1, an experimental prototype which was destroyed by fire in December of 1989. The TPL-2 is a vast improvement over the TPL-1, boasting many new features, such as a swivel base capable of 360-degree rotation, and numerous design improvements, including special radar-absorbent upper cowlings and greatly reduced structural weight. Like the TPL-1, the new version still relies on dual side-mounted video monitor launch tube containers, which can rotate into launch position and fire up to 8 independently targetable ground-to-air-to-ground missiles. Once the missiles have been launched, the containers can be rotated back to broadcast position, continuing to emit Pearson Post-Production's public service and promotional music videos. The TPL-2 also relies on the same engine system that powered the TPL-1, which consists of a series of gears driven by a Sears 1/2 horsepower garage door opener, which turns an axle adapted from a Chrysler automobile differential. The TPL-2 was subjected to numerous tests early in the production stage in order to ensure the proper functioning of the chain and gear system, which was plagued by many derailment problems in the TPL-1. However, the testing of TPL-2 proceeded smoothly with no problems in any stage of construction. Due to intense pressures to meet production deadlines, the swivel base unit was tested, but unfortunately it was not motorized in time for the TPL-2's first operational deployment at the University of Maryland. Instead, most of the time was spent employing new construction methods and in the difficult process of building the complex shape of the new design. This design includes angular upper podium and television cowlings to increase radar reflectiveness and lower the overall radar profile of the TPL-2. After the proper substructures were built, workers installed a layer of special radar-absorbent Kevlar fiber batting, which was then covered by another layer of heat-resistant radar-absorbent material designed to further reduce radar detectability and to enhance the overall appearance of the TPL-2. Production proceeded well, and Pearson Post Industries administration officials were very pleased to be able to implement an entirely new design program and complete the TPL-2 on time and well above the budget. Deployment of the Telepodium Launcher 2 occurred as planned at the Art Gallery of the University of Maryland on September 12, 1990. All phases of deployment went smoothly, and Pearson Post Industries administration officials have expressed their belief that the new Telepodium launcher, combined with all new public service music videos, will ensure the success of Pearson Post Industries' Defense Entertainment Technologies program for the 1990s.
We've got to pump it up. Got to get down.
The government is prepared
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 To get down.
Of us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, while they want to raise your taxes, and they do, while they want you to pay more money for your oil, I'm not for smoking or drinking, but if you happen to engage in those, you're going to pay more money for that too. While they want to raise taxes, they also want to spend more money to fund dirty art from the government. And the controversy surrounding the funding of pornography and attacks on religion by the National Endowment of the Arts has focused attention on the nature of the whole scope of what is called contemporary art. Correspondent John Black, who's been following this issue, reports that the objectionable art funding by the NEA has a common thread with other contemporary art. It represents a radical political and social ideology. Please be warned, some of this art, and this isn't our art, it's their art, we're just reporting on it, is racist in nature and has overt sexual material and is considered highly offensive to many, including me.
Joshua Pearson and Gardner Post have titled this creation of theirs the Telepodium Launcher. Using a barrage of mass media messages, it's a criticism of what these artists consider U.S. militarism.
The government is prepared
To get down.
The government is prepared
To get down.
The
The
government
Telepodium Launcher is part of an exhibit first shown at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's List Visual Arts Center and now at the Art Gallery of the University of Maryland, featuring what is sometimes called issue art, art that is primarily political or social. The exhibit is titled Trouble in Paradise and features such things as Karen Gusti's pro-abortion statue of Justice in the Balance and Jay Critchley's wall-size graphic for his imaginary Old Glory Condom Corporation, a protest of what he considers government inaction in the battle against AIDS. There are also disturbing illustrations by photographer Carrie Mae Weems of racist jokes. Weems, who is black, says it is her intention to confront all viewers with the diverse guises of racism. She does that with an exhibit the University of Maryland Museum says has drawn protest. The express purpose of much of this exhibit seems to be to offend. It's art with an ideological agenda.
America today is a proud, free nation, a place we cannot help but love. America today is a proud, free nation, free nation, a place we cannot help but love, but love, but love, cannot help but love, but love, but love, but love. We know what works. Freedom works. We know what's right. Freedom is right. We know what works. Freedom works. Freedom works. Freedom power works. Freedom power works. Freedom power works. Freedom power. Freedom power. Freedom power. Free power. Free power. Free power works. Power is right. Knowledge works. Knowledge is right. Common sense works. Common sense is right. Love works. Love is right. Love is power. Love power works. Freedom is love. Freedom is power. Love power is right. Love power is right.
We are still not strong enough. We need greater strength. We need greater
Power.
We need greater
Knowledge.
We need greater love. We need greater
Freedom. We
are still not free enough. We are still not proud enough. We are still not right enough. We are still not free enough. We need greater
freedom. Freedom.
greater
Power.
greater love. Greater
Knowledge.
greater
Freedom.
proud
Knowledge.
love. Proud
Power. Knowledge. Power. Knowledge. Power. Knowledge. Power. Knowledge. Power. Knowledge. Power. Freedom. Power. Knowledge. Power. Freedom. Knowledge. Power.
proud free
Power.
freedom
Power. Knowledge. Power.
proud free
Power.
love.
Freedom.
Right.
Knowledge. Power.
Right.
Right. Knowledge. Power.
Right.
Power.
Freedom.
Right. Power. Knowledge.
Right.
Power.
Right.
Power.
Right.
Freedom. Power.
Right.
Knowledge. Power.
Strong strength. Proud free 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 strong strength. Strong strength.
Power.
Hello, I'm Joshua Pearson. Welcome to this edition of Pearson Post Industries Review Update, the program that takes a look at all the latest projects under development here at Pearson Post Industries, America's leader in defense entertainment technologies. First, we'll look at this. Just a small sample of the 4.5 hours of raw processed videotape produced during a 5-day residency at the Experimental Television Workshop in Owego, New York. The footage you just saw was produced on ETW's Matrix system, a 6-input special effects generator operating in tandem with 2 Amiga computers, a Jones Luminance keyer, and a rolling W30 music workstation. In cooperation with the West Coast consulting firm Artzack's Brian Kane, Pearson Post Industries broke new ground in image processing, paving the way for a whole new look. The development of the Telepodium launcher ended in tragedy shortly after the prototype Armed Entertainment System's first operational deployment. The Telepodium launcher, deployed in the American National Defense Theater, was completely destroyed by a fire that devastated the theater and 90 surrounding shops, businesses, and studios. After searching through the rubble, the skeletal steel framework of the device was found, badly damaged, but still largely intact. Construction of the Telepodium launcher began in September 1989. Working on a restricted budget and intense deadline pressures, the device was completed in a miraculous 10 days and was soon deployed in local galleries and theaters. The most successful of these operations was its final mission in the American National Defense Theater, where it dazzled audiences for 2 successive weekends. Disaster struck. A fire started in the rooms below the theater, and within hours, the entire 1 million square foot complex was engulfed in flames. A general alarm was called, and over 100 fire companies responded. Working in freezing temperatures, firefighters waged a losing battle against the fire, which was fueled by 100-year-old timber and oil-soaked floors. But determined to fulfill customer satisfaction, Pearson Post Industries risked their lives and continued to perform as the fire raged, waiting until the last possible moment before bidding farewell and abandoning the telepodium launcher to the flames.
I'm standing in all that's left of the Riverside Mills complex. This is where the American National Defense Theater was located, in the mill complex.
The theater was the first part of the structure to burn out of control. Although the cause of the fire is not yet known, authorities suspect sabotage, and Pearson Post Industries is denying any responsibility for the blaze, claiming that the telepodium launcher was equipped with fire safety devices which would have prevented an accidental ignition.
It's a story of triumph and tragedy. Success followed by devastating defeat.
But that wasn't the end of the story. The next victim of disaster was the Pearson Post Industries mobility test bed. After serving only 1 year of successful operation as a test vehicle for various automobile-based armed entertainment systems, this report was filed.
The road to success has not always been a smooth one for Pearson Post Industries. Following the devastating loss of the telepodium launcher last month, Pearson Post Industries was dealt another devastating blow with the loss of the U.S. workforce hardened mobile launcher mobility test bed.
The vehicle suffered a direct hit on the left rear wheel area, rendering it unrepairable. Because Pearson Post Industries administration officials have been calling for an upgraded system, the near-obsolete mobility test bed was consigned to the scrap heap. But despite these tragic losses, new acquisitions such as the Roland W30 music workstation, a disc-driven 512K memory 16-track 8-output sampler sequencer, and 8 recently purchased 20-inch color television monitors are the key ingredients that will serve as the core for the all-new modernized armed entertainment systems currently under development by Pearson Post Industries' research and development team. In conclusion, Pearson Post Industries is committed to overcoming its recent difficulties and reaffirming its determination to press onward as the leader in its field, combining innovation, quality, knowledge, and power.
Experience. Experience fortifies theory. Knowledge is power. The way is clear. The challenge strong. The duty inescapable. We must have the facts. Common sense calls for the facts. Now.
We are still not strong enough. Strong enough.